What's up everyone, Saw Simon here bringing you a new video today, which is 10 things you don't know about Red Dead Redemption 2. These things can be anything from Easter eggs, trivia, references, to game mechanics. If you guys enjoy the video, do the button thing, subscribe, and leave a comment letting me know what you think. Here we go. This topic is ridiculous and not so much an Easter egg, but more like a ridiculous and unbelievably well hidden item. Anyway, if you come to this spot on the map, you need to keep climbing until you get to the top of this mountain range area. Once there, you are looking for this path right back down. Anyway, just follow the path along the mountain range and try not to fall off. There are a couple jumps to make, but otherwise in the end you will come to an open area that looks like someone is camping up there. Here you will find a chest with some cash, but the real prize are the two stones you find in this eagle's nest. These two stones, Ammolite and Fluorite, are unique items that you could sell for 25 bucks a piece. However, I have actually no idea what they will be used for, to be honest. This spot was crazy to find, and to be honest, I only stumbled across it when following an NPC for a quest related to the story. However, it's pretty awesome, right? I mean, what the hell is this anyway? Okay, this one is something that might not have happened to you yet because you won't be taken alive. However, if you allow the sheriff to arrest you and put you in jail, sometimes you wait out your sentence, sometimes you pay a fine and are released. But occasionally, a member of the gang will show up to get you out. Either by bribing the cops or busting you out some other way, members will come back to help you sometimes. It's just a cool detail that makes so much sense when you think about all the things you do for the gang. This is a cool way to see that it's given back to you sometimes, even if you have to pay it back to worthless pieces of shit whose mothers probably had sex with Yosemite Sam. Finding this out was completely random luck, and it has no purpose other than a laugh. After I came across a jailbreak, I killed a couple of O'Driscolls and barbecued this douche. After which, I decided to celebrate by taking their stuff for myself. The first horse was a bit difficult to deal with, but we worked it out. It was the second horse that really surprised me. As I approached him to loot what he had, I noticed that no prompt appeared to loot. It was grayed out, which meant the action couldn't be performed by me. It was at the same time I noticed the waterfall of feces pouring out of this horse's ass, and then it dawned on me. You are unable to loot saddlebags when a horse is taking a shit. For whatever reason, it just won't let you. It does make sense in a way, really. If you don't think so, try this experiment. Wait until your dad goes into the bathroom to poop. When you are sure he is on the toilet and ready to make, burst in quickly and try to loot his pockets. I bet you won't be able to get anything out of them, and I am not responsible for anything that happens to you. This piece of information is always fun to see. We all know how detailed the game is, but this is one of the cooler things I like. Whenever you are in a fist fight and close to ending it, depending on where you are fighting will sometimes depend on how Arthur delivers his final blow. If you are inside a building or up against a wall, he will usually grab said person's head and slam it against the wall to knock out the person. If you are fighting in low standing water and knock the guy down, Arthur will hold him under the surface of the water till he stops breathing. It's just a neat detail that makes a lot of sense if you picture two men fighting in the Old West for their lives. I'm sure they would do to each other whatever it took not to get killed. Let me know if you guys know any other cool spots to end a fight. This is a kick-ass detail that you miss every time you load the game up to play unless you got an eagle eye. When the shotgun shells drop and load into the double barrel, you get a second or two to see the back of them before they fire. On the back of these shells you can see the following. Rockstar Games 2020 established MCMX CVIII, which translates to Rockstar Games 20th Anniversary established 1998. How do I know this? The name of the company is what it is, and the 20 is referring to the fact that this is Rockstar Games 20th Anniversary because the company was also founded in December of 1998. You can look it up. The bottom of the shell, EST dot, stands for established, and the following letters are Roman numerals, an old system of counting where certain letters represent larger numbers. The M equals 1,000, the C 100, the X a 10, and the V a 5, and the I is 1. So this says 1,000, then in Roman numerals, when a smaller number is behind a larger number, it means you subtract. So the next 1,000 is minus 100, which gives you 900. So MCM equals 1900. Then again, we subtract 100 from 10 to give us 90, and now we have 1990. Lastly, we have the V and the 3 I's, which if you can do that in your head really fast, it's 8. It all adds up to 1998. It's pretty cool, huh? But there's a little bit more. Also, the 2020 on the shotgun shells, when added together, obviously equals 40, and I believe Red Dead Redemption 2 is Rockstar Games' 40th game. So if I did all that right, that's a whole lot of information for you to take in the whole 1.4 seconds they give you to see it before someone gets blown away by that shotgun. Here is an awesome detail I bet most of you have yet to find. Dutch's mother's grave. You can find it located right outside of Blackwater. You can attempt to visit it early on with your bounty, but it will be a hard thing to do. It gets a little bit easier later in the game, so that would be your better time to wait and go. When you do visit, it's located right outside of town between the top 2 roads that go into Blackwater. Once you do get there, find her headstone and take a peek. It says Greta van der Linden, loving mother to son Dutch, 1835 to 1881. There was grace in her steps, love in every gesture. This is a pretty loving headstone, which makes sense when you consider how these words sound like they came right out of Dutch's mouth. However, like most things, Dutch stole these words. The real quote comes from John Milton, which is, "Grace was in all her steps, heaven in her eye, and in every gesture, dignity and love." It's from a poem called Paradise Lost, which was considered Milton's greatest work. He was a writer in the 1600s and was the first modern writer to employ non-rhymed verses outside of the theater or translations. He was also a big fighter of freedom of speech and freedom of the press, which makes sense when you consider that most of the stuff out of Dutch's mouth usually has to do with being free or trying to get somewhere to finally be free or having the right to choose how to live. It makes sense he would use this man's quote on probably the only person we can say for sure he truly loved. This is useful as hell. In the random event that your horse dies or runs away, or you let it go and you become stuck out in the world in the middle of nowhere and can't find a new horse, head to the main road and look for a wagon. If you find one, call out to the person. If they stop, you can ask for a ride from said person and they will end up giving you a lift to the nearest town they are headed to, or you can jump off whenever you want with Square. You are also able to move around the wagon, such as a shotgun spot or standing on the side, just for shits and giggles, I guess. There are a couple ways you can open safes in the game when you come across them or take them from unsuspecting hillbillies. Firstly, you can use dynamite, which everyone seems to come to after racking their brains a little bit. The second way, and most time-consuming way, is to throw your throwable weapons or hatchets at it until it comes off. This could take you a few minutes because you have to throw your weapons, collect them, and do it again. If you have all the hidden weapons in the game, it will save you a little time because you have like 7 extra hatchets to throw, but it's still really time-consuming nonetheless. The other way, and by far the easiest, is to use one explosive round from your handgun, or any other gun you have an explosive round for. Pick your weapon, switch to set ammo, aim and fire, and it comes right off. That's what she said. This is a minor detail that you have no use for other than looking cool, but you can select a pocket watch as your own and keep it on your person like new hats and melee weapons you pick up. To see this, first you need to select a watch, so go into your satchel and go to where your valuables are kept and find a watch you like and hit X to equip it. Next, all you gotta do is go into your item wheel menu and go to where your binoculars are located. Simply right or left click the trigger and you will come across the pocket watch you have equipped. Select it and Arthur will pull it out and check the time. Again, it's just a cool detail, there's nothing really to it other than that, but there are a couple cool pocket watches in the game that you can find and hang on to for yourself. One of the best parts of Red Dead is the Deadeye system and the kill cam that sometimes follows it. This happens anytime you hit a sweet spot on a bad guy and kill them, which is then shown to you in an amazing Zach Morris timeout slow motion death scene. These moments are always awesome to watch and they never get old, but have any of you noticed the difference in them at times? It's not hard to tell the difference, but because the game is so engrossing and it's easy to miss when you're in the heat of combat. When your honor level is high, the kill cam shows up more vibrant with color, while also focusing more on Arthur in a heroic fashion. When your honor is low, like an 80-year-old man's ballsack or Micah's face, the kill cam shows up devoid of color, more black and white. Also, because your honor is low, the kill cam also starts to show more gore and violence of the people you are killing, painting you more as a villain than a hero. Again, this might be something you missed while playing because you're so caught up in the moments, but next time you're playing, see if you can spot this difference. Well guys, that is all I have for you on this one. I hope you enjoyed the video and you actually learned something new about the game from it. If you did, leave a comment, let me know, and I will see you all next time.